One county in Texas has decided to add our nation's motto, which is "In God We Trust," to some of their official paperwork, and the decision has some people up in arms. Tarrant County, Texas's tax assessor made the decision to add the motto, "In God We Trust," to his office's envelopes, and it will also be printed on tax statements next year. Critics call this a clear violation of the separation between church and state. And joining us right now is Tarrant County tax assessor Ron Wright, joining us from Dallas. Ron, good morning to you.
Good morning.
What were you trying to do by putting "In God We Trust" on your correspondence?
You know, the surprising thing, Steve, is that this is controversial. It shouldn't be. It is the national motto, and I think it's a timely reminder of the values upon which our nation was founded. It's, it's historic, it's iconic, and things that are iconic to Americans, like the motto and the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem, these things have helped define us as a people, define us as a nation.
Sure, and in fact, you know what, Ron, last night, at the conclusion of the president's speech on Iraq, he said, God bless America. He said, God bless our troops. He invoked God right there. All you're doing is invoking the national motto, which is on the money, but you said it's been controversial.
Right.
What have people been bugged about regarding this?
Well, they have claimed that it violates the Constitution, that it violates their constitutional rights, that I'm inserting religion into a secular office and things like that. There are people that are perpetually offended and aggrieved, and they're always going to be bothered by things like this that don't bother most Americans, because most Americans like the motto and want it continued.
Sure.
The beauty of the motto is it speaks to all religions. It doesn't favor one over the other, whether you're Christian, Jew, Muslim, what have you. It speaks to all of us.
That's right. I read in one of the local papers down there that at one point, even though your county has 2 million people in it, they'd only received one complaint. Somebody did write an open letter to the Fort Worth newspaper, and it said in part, "I consider that a violation of the doctrine of separation of church and state. It is true that my coins and bills contain this phrase, but it has been on those for years. This is something new and a lot closer to home. Those are my tax dollars, and I don't want them funding a religious opinion." Is it a religious statement, or do you think it's a patriotic statement?
Well, it can be both. One could view it as a religious statement, and one could view it as a patriotic statement. I see it as both. But the thing is, her mention of cost, the total cost of this was $3 for the plate. $3 for the plate. And yesterday we received a letter from a lady in Kansas who was very supportive and included a check for $3 to cover that cost.
Look at that, Ron. You caused all this trouble with $3. Here's a $5. I would have gotten change back. Do you have any intention of changing this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. God stays.
All right. Good enough. Ron Wright joined us from Dallas, Texas today to talk about how